guys, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drownboy Productions, and today we're going to skip the intro and get right into the video. So it's been around 2 or 3 weeks since I've last made a video. A lot has happened in the past 2 to 3 weeks. At first, I was having a particularly bad toothache, which at the time of recording is still bothering me. And then shortly thereafter, I got very, very sick. I've been sick for a little over 2 weeks now, pretty much bedridden for the entirety of that. Very, very severe pain, and only recently was I able to get treated for it at the time of recording. Just yesterday did they finally get something figured out and get me some treatment started. And because of those hospital bills and because of having to go to the dentist, get this stuff checked out, and future work that's going to have to be done, I've had to sell off quite a few pieces in the collection. Funny enough, the last thing I was doing before everything went down, before I got sick, was working on a video for you guys of the entire Scream collection. I was very happy and very proud of where the collection had made it back to because, of course, I built the collection up, had to sell things off because of my father's medical expenses, and the past year we've been working on rebuilding that collection, and now I've had to sell off quite a few amazing pieces to help take care of my own medical bills, and I never even got to do a video on the whole collection, how it was looking. But anyways, it is what it is. We can rebuild, we can get some of those pieces back, and that'll give us a little bit more space to add new things to the collection in the future. New things like some of the pieces that we added today. So let's get right into this. So item number 1, what we have is actually a Scream Stalker costume. I managed to find a full original Scream Stalker costume, sans the original bag itself, on Facebook Marketplace. This was another somewhat local score. I actually was going to go pick up the entire costume in person. Unfortunately, due to me being sick, I just had them ship it to me. Thankfully, they were willing to ship, and essentially all it was just a standard Scream Stalker costume. And here you can see it. I've already got it packaged up in a new bag, because what I plan to do with this costume is do a full As Seen in Stab the Movie costume bag display. Of course, I already have one where you can see the front of it on display with the Scream 2 theater stuff, but I wanted to have one with the actual knife inside of the bag. Very soon, I plan to get an actual chrome Buck 120 for the killer display, and as much as I do love him holding the little glowing green knife, I think it would be cooler to have him holding an actual buck knife and have that on display inside of one of the costume bags. And this was actually one of the earlier Scream Stalker costumes, and the way that I can tell that is some of the later versions, they started including a little glow star, like the one here that says mask included, and it actually would say like free prize or a free item, gloves included. But this one at the bottom says accessories suggested, gloves and knife. So it only comes with the robe, the belt, and the mask. I actually didn't see the belt in this, so I guess technically it was just the insert, the mask, and the robe. But still, even though it's not a complete costume, it should work fine for exactly what I'm trying to do here. And the mask in question is an Easter Unlimited HN stamp, but it's one of the earlier versions that looks very close to like a Fearsome Faces style mask. So I think this will work fine just for the display, even though it's not technically a fearsome, which is what they would have had on screen. But enough about replicas, let's get to the main item here, which is a screen-used prop from Scream 4. So recently I was scouring eBay, as I so often do, and of course eBay's been very dry recently, not much Scream stuff, or what you do come across is insanely overpriced, but I happened to find a listing for this screen-used Gale Weathers Knife of Doom book from Scream 4. And of course, I always wanted to have some of these books. I really, really wish I would have picked them up when they were super cheap. Not necessarily because they're so expensive now, but because I would have liked to have the props when they weren't so expensive. Of course, these just a few years ago, you could get them for like $100, $150 maybe, and now they're going like $600, $700, maybe even more. Of course, the Out of Darkness Sidney Prescott books, those unsigned have went up to $1,000, and that's a signed copy. I got lucky on that one, picked it up for I think $400 or $500, and this was also a very similar situation because they had it listed for $800, but the seller sent me an offer of it for $400, and I had to take them up on that. I felt that that was a very fair price, and of course it's another screen-used piece in the collection. Looking at the write-up here on the back, it says, in the small California town of Woodsboro, evil lurks. Most of the townsfolk are peaceful and quiet. However, a murderer lurks among them. Who is the savage killer and what does he want? Is no one safe from this mysterious masked serial killer? A young group of students fight for their lives as it seems a fleeting effort. Can anyone stop the killer's frenzy? Who is the killer among them? Will the quiet town of Woodsboro ever be peaceful in this small California town of... Wait, what? Whoa, okay. Oh, okay. I see. So whenever I received this book, I took a quick look over it, not too much because I was sick. I just wanted to open the package, make sure everything was legitimate. But the same text on the back is just repeated several times, and even on the inside of the books here and here, of course, it's just a slipcover. That's all the prop really is. It's the very same text repeated over and over. I mean, it's just meant to be a background prop, and out of all of the books, these are actually seen the least amount. I think the only time that you see these in the film is on a discount rack in the bookstore when Sydney's doing her signing, and I think maybe in Gale's office you can see one set of each books in there. So I would say that the Gale Weathers books are probably a bit rarer, and they made much fewer of those for the production than they did of the Out of Darkness books, but they also seem a bit less desirable. And it's funny because that's kind of the point in the movie as well, and in real life. I mean, this graphic design is terrible. This white with blood splatter, you can barely read the text. It's like size 11 Arial text, maybe. Just disgusting. And of course, here on the inside, we have the certificate of authenticity. It says, "It is hereby certified the following item was used during the production of the above movie, Scream 4, a Gale Weathers Riley, Courtney Cox screen-used Knife of Doom, Sidney Prescott book cover over a Preachers of Hate book." I don't know why it says Knife of Doom, Sidney Prescott book cover. That's kind of strange, but yeah, this is a Premier Props COA, one of the smaller COAs. I guess maybe the reason it says that is because technically this does use the very, very same book as Out of Darkness. Again, everybody asks, are these real books? Yes, they're real books, but it's not really Knife of Doom. It's not really Out of Darkness. Really, it's Preachers of Hate. The same book, I believe, was used for all the different prop books in Scream 4. And there you have it. Pretty cool spine, though. It's got a buck knife on it, Gale Weathers' Knife of Doom. Pretty interesting. But there you have it, guys. That's pretty much it. Just that item. It was mainly just to show off the screen-used book that I received. But, of course, I wanted to show you guys that costume as well. And I actually do have a few more pieces I'm looking for. I've been trying to find some of the newer Ghostface pieces, like the new NECA Retro Cloth, or the NECA Ultimate, or the Toonie Terrors. I would like to pick those up. Hell, I would even like to get one of those Geek Tiki mugs. Those are pretty badass as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Yet again, short and sweet. The next video we do should be a full video on the Scream collection. Hopefully, we don't have to sell a bunch of pieces before I get to do that video. But love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And yet again, I'll see you guys next time.